Yo, what's going on, E7 fam? I'm Sue, and in this video, I am here to announce my holiday ratio format tournament for December 13th. Now, since I made the ratio format over the summer, a lot of you guys have expressed how much you just love it. The fact that it has a lot of interesting combinations of characters. You get to play low tiers, characters you haven't normally seen in a while, things like that. And I know a number of you have also asked me if I would do a tournament for the format because you guys just love it so much. Now, the big hang up with that was that I didn't know how I was going to be able to kind of secure some kind of prize structure for this kind of tournament. I could, as an official content creator, ask Smilegate for some Skystones to help me out, but it's usually a pretty long-winded process, and you only get like 4 to 5k Skystones for the entire ordeal. And I feel like I already ask a lot of the community managers. They're pretty swamped with Chaos Zero Nightmare and all of the stuff that it's got going on right now. So I just didn't know how was I going to be able to provide some type of prize structure for this thing. Now, as a separate thing off to the side, I have been friends with Tristan Wolf for about 3 years at this point, making content with him. And, you know, one of the things that we always talk about is how December and January are the two lowest months when it comes to analytics, when it comes to engagement with Epic 7. And that's for 2 reasons. The first of which is totally valid. It's the holiday season. People want to spend time with their friends and family, not necessarily playing a gacha game. But number 2 is that, you know, SG just has a track record of not really doing much of anything in the month of December and January. There's not really any updates, no content to actually play. The game just basically feels kind of dead. So Tristan got this idea to do a community-driven event in the month of December leading into January to kind of drum up excitement for people who are still very much active and interested in the game, even during this like slower holiday period. And so he approached me with an opportunity to be a part of this bigger event. And he made a post, as you can see here, on his YouTube. Lack of content got you down this holiday season? Need some hype in your life? Well, the E7 content creators have got your back. Now you can experience the drama and excitement of 4 massive communities clashing live. I am excited to introduce the Wolfpack Battle of the Alphas tournament. Join us this December as 4 of your favorite streamers hold competitions offering thousands of Skystones in order to find 3 lucky players to accompany them as part of their pack to the main event in January for a chance to win tens of thousands of Skystones. Throughout the month of December, Vic Chun, Ace Trainer, me, this guy here, I'm Sue, and D Xander will be holding special custom tournaments with thousands of Skystones as rewards in order to find their pack, so make sure you're following to be part of the action. So yes, Tristan approached me with a solution to my problem for the ratio format tournament. There's going to be a 10,000 Skystone prize pool for this tournament, thus solving the biggest issue. So now all that's left is to actually run the tournament and, you know, hopefully have some fun together as a community. So now that you know that there's 10,000 Skystones on the line for this format, you're probably wondering, if you don't already play ratio format, what the hell is it and how do you play? Well, the longer answer is I will link my ratio format video down in the video's description to kind of go over it a little bit more in detail, how it came about, so on and so forth. But essentially, it is a standard World Arena match without warfare rules, but still having band protection, where all 5 characters that both players draft must be worth a total of 7 points or less. And as you can see here on your screen, this table gives you the point values. So characters like Boss Arunka, Frieren, Lady of the Scales, Renak, and School Nurse Yulha, these are worth 7 points. So if you drop one of these 5 characters, then that means the rest of your team must come from either the 0 point or potentially the -1 point tier, right? All 5 characters, the sum must be 7 points or less. So if you want to draft 5 1-point characters for a 5-point team, that is still fine. It is still 7 points or less. If ever you go over the allotted points, you instantly forfeit that game in the match. So do keep that in mind. Do familiarize yourself with the actual format. Now, the reason why the format is done this way is because it rewards kind of interesting synergies and combos amongst the lower tier characters. If you wanted to play something like, say, Renak at 7 points and Dragon King Shroon at 2 points, that's a common Guild War combo, for example. That's a 9-point team, so you would have to play 2 -1-point characters, which makes for a pretty lousy RTA team overall. Instead, you find synergies like, say, Successor Teiyu and like Assassin Sid. That's a 5-point combo. You ban protect maybe the Successor Teiyu. You find some kind of other CR pushback in the 0 or 1 point thing, and that's kind of the team strategy that you run. Now, in order to kind of give you guys the most amount of time and the fairest kind of practicing time with this format, most amount of time to train ahead of it, my tournament is 2 weeks basically from the announcement video that is going to be going up. It should be going up probably like maybe 13-ish days before the actual tournament. So you will have roughly about 2 weeks to train. And the point values that you see here, I will link them down in the video's description. They will also be posted on the challenge sign-up page, which we'll talk about in just a second. These point values that you see, they will not change. So you don't have to worry about like Lady of the Scales going from 7 points down to 5 for whatever reason. This is the point values that we're using for this tournament, so feel free to kind of gear up your characters and start experimenting with your friends and guildmates in order to actually prepare for this thing. The final thing to discuss upon here in this video is going to be the actual challenge sign-up page here. So as you can see, there is the image with all of the ratio point values here. So again, you could find this here if you don't want to use the link down in the video's description. The tournament format will be single elimination, best of 3, 2 pre-bans, ban protection is on, and warfare rules are off, and each round is 60 minutes. You will need a verified challenge account in order to sign up for this actual event. You will also need to make sure that your challenge ID is either your in-game ID or your Discord ID, or just make it super easy for people to find you when it comes time for match pairing. As we get closer to the tournament, I will provide chat channels to find your opponents, make things super easy to figure out how to set up your matches. I'll also give you a bunch of voice chat channels if you want to do that. Otherwise, you could just take it to DMs or just use the in-game Epic 7 chat, right? And you can see all the other kind of rules here about what happens if somebody disconnects, time overs, things like that. Now, as for the prizing here, first place for the tournament, no matter what rank you finished in RTA, is 4,000 Skystones. So if you enter the tournament and you win, it's 4,000 Skystones for first place. Second place, 2,000 Skystones. Third and fourth place, 1,000 Skystones. Fifth through eighth place, 500 Skystones. Now, the last 3 prizes are unique. These are basically invitations where if you win them, I will extend the invitation to you. Should you accept and you were vetted, then you will be able to join my team on Team Sue in order to join the Battle of the Alphas event on January 10th to play against Team Victune, Team Ace Trainer, and Team Xander, right? So the 3 people that will be joining my team will be the highest placing player in this tournament, whose peak RTA finish is Emperor rating. Not necessarily touched it. You could have also have touched Legend, but you cannot have finished Legend. If you have finished in Emperor rating and you are the highest rated player in my tournament, and these will all be determined through questions that you'll answer at sign up, right? Then you will be extended an invitation to join me for the January 10th exhibition match. And if you accept, you will get 2,500 Skystones with a chance at more depending on our performance in that event. Now, if you're the highest placing player who has not finished Warlord, Emperor, or Legend in World Arena, basically your peak RTA rating is Champion, and you are the highest rated player of that caliber in this tournament, you will also get an invitation that will be worth at least an extra 2,500 Skystones with the potential for more based on our performance. And finally, the one I'm the most excited about, the highest placing player who started Epic 7 in 2025. A lot of people came into the game with E7 Origin, and a lot of you are probably pretty nervous about jumping into World Arena, right? But young bloods are what carry the game. The new blood is what carries the game forward, keeps it from getting stagnant, keeps it from from dying long term. These are the people that I really want to see show up for this tournament, because this is a tournament where you don't need all of the most broken ML5s, where you don't need the most broken limited units. I want to see your raw skill as a player. Show me what you've learned in your first year of Epic 7. If you are the highest rated new player from this year in the tournament, you will get that final spot on Team Sue and a guaranteed 2,500 extra Skystones, as well as your chance to prove yourself in front of the entire Epic 7 community on January 10th. I am super, super excited that Tristan has allowed me to be a part of this, and I want to give a big shout out to Vic Chun, Xander, Ace Trainer, and of course Valky and Divine Shadow for making this entire thing possible. I really hope that the ratio format's first tournament is something truly special, truly exciting. I can't wait to see all of the hype moments with you guys on December 13th. Make sure you check out, Vic, Xander, and Ace for all of their community happenings. I will link them down in a pinned comment below. And as always, enjoy the rest of your day, the rest of your week, and I'll see you all at the ratio format tournament on December 13th. Later now.